Hello students and welcome back to Learn with Swasti. One of the easiest topics in CTET is also one of the most misunderstood. Students memorize the definitions of assessment and evaluation, but then when CTET presents it with a classroom situation, they are often confused. In today's video, we will understand the difference between assessment and evaluation using simple classroom examples, and in the end, we will also solve some CTET previous year questions. If you're between the difference of assessment and evaluation, then you are not alone. And by the end of this video, to answer questions where these differences are asked without memorizing definitions. Hi, I'm Dr. Swasti Dhar, and if you are new to my channel, then welcome. In this channel, I help aspiring Paper 1 CTET teachers, primary teachers, prepare for the CTET and become better teachers by simplifying the CDP, pedagogy, maths and EVS topics in simple, easy to understand classroom practice methods. If that is who you are, then you're in the right place. Let's begin. Imagine that you are a teacher of class 3. In your class, a child is reading a paragraph aloud. You as the teacher walk around, you find that the child is mispronouncing some words. You stop him, you correct him, and this time the child reads again and much better. Now stop and ask yourself, did any marks get awarded? No. But did learning take place? Yes. The next week, the school conducts an oral reading test. The same child now reads aloud and scores 8 out of 10. And you as a teacher record that mark and put it in the report card. So we have actually witnessed two types of assessment. In the first one, the child learns. In the second one, a judgment takes place regarding how much the child has learned. These two processes are called assessment and evaluation. Assessment is a process of collecting information about the child's learning. Notice the word process. Teachers assess children every day. When you ask questions in class, when you observe some activity that they have taken place, when you correct their notebooks, when you're giving feedback, you are assessing learning. The purpose is not to judge the child. The purpose is to understand learning and improve it. So assessment is always diagnostical, continuous and improvement oriented. Evaluation takes place after information is collected. And based on that information, the teacher has to make a decision. Has the learning outcome been achieved? Should the child be promoted? What grades or marks should be awarded to the child? And has the program been successful? Evaluation usually involves a judgment and you end up awarding marks, ranks, certificates, grades to the child. So let's compare assessment and evaluation. Assessment is a continuous process, whereas evaluation involves a final judgment. Assessment aims to improve learning, whereas evaluation we measure the achievement, whether the learning has taken place. In assessment, we provide feedback to the child immediately, and in evaluation, we award grades or marks. Assessment happens throughout the year, throughout the learning process, whereas evaluation usually takes place after learning has taken place. Assessment helps both the learner and the teacher, whereas evaluation is used mainly, the purpose is for reporting and making decisions. One simple sentence can help you remember the difference. Assessment is for improvement, evaluation is for judgment. You'll notice that almost every CTET question on assessment and evaluation can be answered if you can keep this one line in your mind. Over the last few CTET papers, questions have increasingly become classroom oriented. CTET will ask you or give you a classroom situation and you will have to figure out whether assessment is taking place or evaluation is taking place. So whenever you see words like observes, gives feedback, improves learning, identifies errors, modifies teaching, think assessment. And whenever you see words such as giving marks, giving ranks, judging, certification or final decisions, think evaluation. Let us see some CTET style questions. Awarding grades after the annual examination is an example of, and the options are assessment, evaluation, observation and diagnostic testing. So the keywords here are awarding grades and after the annual examination. So we are talking about evaluation. Another question. A teacher notices that several students are unable to identify the main idea of a passage. She changes her teaching strategy. Key line. She changes her teaching strategies and provides additional practice before moving ahead. So this is an example of, and you can guess, this is assessment. So always focus on the keywords, then you will be very confident as to what the answer is. So today we learned 3 important ideas. First, that assessment is a continuous process that helps improve learning. Second, is that evaluation is the process of making a judgment based on the information collected. And finally, for CTET, do not memorize definitions of assessment and evaluation. Just ask yourself, is the teacher trying to improve learning or is the teacher making a judgment? The answer usually becomes obvious. Today we learned the difference between assessment and evaluation, but here's a bigger question. If the assessment is not about giving marks, then why does the teacher assess? That is what we will learn in the next video. If this has been helpful, do like my video, do share it with any teacher who's preparing for the CTET, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.